Hi, my name is Daudi Mugabi and this is Business Mike, episode 5. My guest today is The Myth. He's a Ugandan rapper, TV host and brand ambassador. In this episode, The Myth shares his journey as an artist, what it takes to make it to the top, and why branding is so important. All this and more next on Business Mike. Thank you so much, Tom, for being here today. Could you briefly tell us who you are and what you do?
It's weird you called me Tom. That's usually my mother. My name is The Myth. I am a rapper, TV host, brand ambassador, brand designer, owner in Uganda. I'm many things. Yeah.
So you mentioned you're an artist.
Yes.
Are there any people that inspired you to pursue that career path?
Actually, I think I have an uncle who used to drum and rap a little bit at home, and for some reason that just it was cool.
Yeah.
You know, you see your uncle and his drumming, and it's like, I'm the meanest, the toughest, the coolest dude around town. And for me, I was like, yeah, that is cool, man. So it kind of like that inspired me. Then I got into music. Like the whole family were really into our music. Yeah. So I started listening to music, and I realized I couldn't sing to save my life. Yeah. So rap was the other option for me. You know, and when that happened, I started listening to your Public Enemies, Run DMCs, LL Cool J's, and all those, and just how they were using words. Yeah, exactly. To tell their story was incredible for me. I was like, wow, you just used 1 minute to talk about a situation that most people fail to talk about with unlimited time. So for me, that kind of like inspired me. You know.
Are there any particular songs that you recall where the lyrics or the context of the song is more than just entertainment?
Public Enemy, their whole thing was political rap, their whole thing. But, while I enjoyed that, I enjoyed what they were saying, I couldn't relate to it. True. Because I was not in States. I didn't know what was going on, all that. But then I think it hit closer to home when I listened to people like MC Afrique, the late MC Afrique, who did songs like Watoto wa Africa. Yeah. Watoto wa Africa. It's Swahili. It's talking about Africa. For me, that for me was like when it hit home. Like, okay, we can actually do this and talk about and tell our stories. Which was crazy for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that you're quite a number of things. Yes. So what's your typical day like? Very, very lazy. Because you see all those things, it's I control them. Right. You see, apart from the hosting on Urban TV, everything else is kind of like my time, my terms, and everything, which kind of like is good. Okay, I'll be honest. It's not lazy. It's more. You have to be on your game. You have to make sure that songs are written in a time and released well. You have to make sure these T-shirts or whatever brands you're trying to push are designed well and pushed well. You have to make sure that you have content for the TV show and all this stuff. So while it seems like the outcome, while it seems like you see me in the videos and it seems like it's pretty easy, it's pretty cool, it's tougher because you have to approve these things. You have to sit down with various designers and you have to get content for a TV show. I never knew TV shows were that crazy until until I started working on this show. So it's my days are hectic, but it's what I love to do. It's what I love to do, so it's cool. And at what point did you decide to do that full-time or professionally as opposed to your typical jobs, the likes of the doctor, architect?
I did my university in India, right? But by then I had already
we'd already started rapping. I started rapping in my senior 4 or something like that. You know, so I did my university in India. When I came back, for like the first 5 months, I was working at some company, I forgot the name, G-Ways. It was a courier company. Yeah. I was working there, but you know, I was like, man, this is not for me. Yeah. You know, it just didn't feel right. And I remember every lunchtime, I would leave G-Ways and go to this studio, Ruta Records, and record a song. Lunchtime, people are having lunch, I'm in the studio. Because it just felt like that's what I want to do. Yeah. You know, and after a while I was like, why am I even pretending? I'm wasting people's time. Someone else could have this job and enjoy it, who would want this job. For me, it didn't make sense to me. So after 5 months, after my university and working, I was just like, man, let me go and do what I love to do, right. which was be this musician and everything. So, you know.
There's so many people upcoming that would like to do what you do. Now, when I look around, the quality of their work really isn't the best. What does it take to get to a standard like yours and maintain it?
You know, we learned from early that the quality has to be top. We learned that from early in our careers. So I think people need to have the right team behind them, especially the younger guys. They have to have the right team behind them. I know a lot of the younger artists, the hungrier artists, come up to myself and other artists who have been doing this for a while, and they're like, does this work? You know, they play us their music and they're like, does this work? And, you know, we're open to telling them, oh, that works, you just have to tighten this production here and there. But I think you just have to have the right team and no yes men. You can't afford to be in the music industry and have yes men. It just doesn't work. You know, competition is too stiff to have people just saying yes because they know tomorrow you're going to be on stage and bright lights, and you can't afford that.
And how crucial as an artist is branding?
It's very crucial. I think it's, you see, while the music is great, the music is great, I think what you would want to do as an artist, have a brand that is louder than the music. So when you don't have a song in like 2 months while you're recording, your brand is still bright enough for people to say that, yeah, that's the guy. You know, branding is extremely important. We've seen it with people like Juliana and Irene Namubiru and Bebe Cool and all these people. Like, they don't have to have a song every month. Their brand is big enough for them to go on command and say, I want to the corporates and say, I want 100 million for this event I'm putting together. The corporates will back it because they trust in that brand. You know, so branding is very, very crucial. I would say you want to have the brand and the music on the same high. Like, you want to have them top notch all the time. You know, it's very important.
This is a bit of a sidetrack question. Are you a fan of the show Game of Thrones?
I've never watched it.
Really?
I have never even watched an episode. And what's crazy is my brothers, you're about to stop the interview. You're like, that's it, we're done. Get the hell out of here. No, my brothers keep telling me I'm crazy because my favorite movie of all time is Gladiator. And they're like, Gladiator, Game of Thrones, like, how are you not watching it? I don't know. I have no idea. So back to the real questions.
Let's get back to the rest of the questions. All right, now, as you've grown as an artist, would you say that your personality has had an influence on your music, or has your music had an influence on your personality?
Man. I think, like with the music I'm doing right now, my personality has an influence on it. Like before, you know, because as a rapper, you have to be, as a hip hop MC, the guy I was trying to be, you have to be like super serious. You have the hoodies on, you have your pants falling. You know, it's like a gimmick in a way. You have to be this person. But then after a while, I was like, man, I'm just trying to make music that I'm happy with. You know, and the type of music that I like to do or listen to is just, while there should be a message behind it, I'm all for that all the time. It would be great if I did like a song and I had my Tom, not even the Myth, Tom, in it, which is more fun, more accessible, you know, because that's the type of guy I am. I'm not trying to be, you know, with the hat on and the hoodie and the shades and the mask and the gloves and the, you know, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just trying to be like a regular guy who can rap, and I always say that. I'm a regular guy who raps, so my music is just really a reflection of that. You know, regular stories. Yeah, that's really what I'm trying to do.
Are there any challenges that you've faced in your career, or any lessons that you've learned?
I mean, like in Uganda, first of all, hip hop is not really looked at as, you know, as a good. Well, I think music is not really looked at as a good career path. Yeah. You know, but then also hip hop music is really looked down upon. Like, people are like, really, you're just going to be, what do they say, a muniga or whatever, you know? So there's that issue. Yeah. And then the fact that we started when we were so young, we were like 15, 16, 14. It all this stuff was like, people could not believe it, and were demanding all these amounts, and people are like, but you guys, you're little boys telling us to pay you 5 million. Like, are you crazy? You know. So all that, it was very tough. We had that issue, the issue that we rap in English. But I think we what that did for us was, then we had to execute 100%. You know, we had to make sure that, okay, this song is good, this video is good, but how can we make it better? I remember we had like All I Wanna Know, the song that broke us in the industry. We had like 20 versions of that song. Really? You know, 20 versions of that song. Like, because we were sitting there and we're like, how can we make this better? 20 versions of a song. That's ridiculous. You know, and all versions were us with Juliana, same producer, but it's like done differently. And we were there in the studio with young kids, because we just felt like we're going to prove to you guys that, you know, while you're looking down on us, we're going to kick down so many doors. That's why for us, getting into KORA Awards at such a, like, off the first album, kids, it was so important for us, and what we were trying to build. You know, there's so many obstacles, but what I could tell a lot of the younger musicians is, you know, like, you have to, the challenges are going to be there, right? You have to come out and challenge people. Right. You know, like, if they're saying, you know what, I don't really like your music, you play your song confidently because you believe in it 110%, and say, really, you don't like this song? You know, you have to stand behind your brand 100%. And that's one thing that we learned from early, and we've kept it going to this day. Even to this day, we still have challenges. So many years in the industry, but we still have challenges. People are like, you know, these guys, they shouldn't. They're here because of their families or whatever nonsense people are saying. I'm like, are you sure? You know me that well? I'm here because of my family, really? You know, but we're kicking down the doors with the music first. A lot of people do it with controversy and all this, but us guys were like, now we're coming in with music first. You guys can decide whatever you want on the side, but the music is going to be there to challenge your opinion. Yeah. You know, and that's how it's been for us from day one to this day. You know, the music is always first.
And since you broke onto the scene, how has the industry evolved?
I mean, we never, at that time, the internet was dead. Oh yeah, true. You know, but right now it's like everything, people are even skipping radio releases because they can command so much online. You know, the budgets are obviously crazier right now. You know, we went from, I remember our first big paycheck was 100,000, and we were like, oh my God, 100,000, that's 20,000 for you, 24. You know, like now you're telling me 100,000. I'm like, you're crazy, right? You can't even get me to say hello on a microphone for that much. You know, so the budgets are crazier. The competition is a lot tougher.
Is that only locally or even from other countries? Say Nigeria seem to be extremely popular.
Yeah, but I think the one thing that we have learned is the united front. And a lot of us have learned it from Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of Nigerian acts don't have to like each other, right? But they will promote each other because strength in numbers. Right. So if Ice Prince doesn't like an artist, he will say, "Yo, my brother's song is coming out tomorrow because it looks good." And I think that's one thing we should learn. There's no harm in promoting the next guy from your country, especially if it's from your country, because what that looks like is, these guys are a united front. They're coming at us together, So the competition from Nigeria is ridiculous. It's crazy. Especially, they're funded, they're supported 100%, and all this stuff. And I think before Ugandans even start complaining, because a lot of guys are complaining, this, that. I think what we should do is, instead of complain, is learn from. Take these little things that guys are doing and learn from them and run with it. And I think when we start doing that, when artists start supporting one another 100%, you don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. But if we start supporting one another 100%, people are going to start paying attention. And then they will realize that the music is actually good, of the same standard and all this stuff. And before you know it, everyone is going to be making bank and happy and everything. Yeah.
Now I have to ask, how do you make a hit? Is it like a chef? You just put in the ingredients, have a little test and say, yeah, that will work?
There's some songs where, like my breakthrough single, Fire, that just producing it and all this and hearing the beat before, because what happened was I asked the producer, I was like, I'm trying to do this blend of dancehall and hip-hop. And the producer gave me a beat. That Fire beat was 45 seconds, I remember. I was like, 45 seconds? But when we heard it, like we knew, we were like, okay, this could be something. Then, again, that whole thing that I said earlier of no yes men, you have to sit down with people whose opinions you value and who will not lie. So you sit down and you're like, okay, this works. Okay, and you build it. Fire also, for instance, there are two versions of Fire. People have heard the one that blew. The other one was also pretty good, but there was something wrong here and there with the chorus and all this stuff. So we switched it up. So it's being around the right team. All that stuff matters when you're making a hit, and also not chasing a hit song. Like if you go to the studio and say, I want to make a hit song, you probably won't.
Really?
You probably won't, because that just means you're over trying. Let it come to you naturally.
Yeah.
Get in there and just let it come naturally. And once that happens, man, there's no limits to what you could do. It's crazy. Yeah.
Because actually, expounding on that point you just made, I think sometimes you lose the fun and enjoyment of what you're doing.
Exactly. And that's what it should be first, because it's something you love to do. So get into the studio and let it come to you naturally. Just have fun, clown around. One of my recent songs, we were literally having a ball. We were having a party at 4 a.m.
Oh.
And people are like, "Oh, that song is so dope." I'm like, man, if they knew. We were really not serious when we did this song.
Okay. Are there any projects that you're working on just now, and what does the future hold for you?
There's so much I'm working on. There's the new Klear Kut album. That's like at the forefront. That's what we're working on. Also, I'm just like, I'll put out. I released my second album last year. But what I'm going to do is release singles off the album and just release new singles that are. I'm just trying to have. I'm having fun in the studio. I'm also recording an album with Nonini from Kenya, and doing a couple of projects with an artist, Peter Clark from Nigeria, and J Town from Ghana. So it's just pushing the brand further than East Africa, Uganda, you know, just having fun with it too.
All right, final question. Yes. If you were the host of this podcast and I was your guest,
yes,
what one question would you ask me?
Let me. Okay, this is actually interesting. I'd ask you the first question you asked me today.
Who I am and what I do?
Yes.
All right.
Go on.
My name is Daudi Mugabi, and I am a business analyst. I am doing a podcast show with a number of entrepreneurs and business owners in various fields, entertainment, finance, IT, whatever. But I want to make these interviews fun and engaging for the young audience and not just throwing facts and figures at them, which will be boring. So that's what I do. But the question I was really hoping you'd ask me was, should I watch Game of Thrones? Because I think that's...
You're really angry about that, aren't you? You're like... You're really pissed off. Should I?
Yes, you should watch Game of Thrones. You must.
In fact, get to the car and buy for you all the seasons. I will do that for you, man.
Please.
And then, when you're done, let's have this interview again.
Yes. Because I had 4 questions about Game of Thrones.
ask. Go on. About Game of Thrones or...
They were about Game of Thrones, actually.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry, the interview is so short, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I will come back after watching Game of Thrones. Thank you.
Finally, how can people connect with you on social media or website?
Social media is the Mith Music. TheMithMusic. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Twitter. Yeah, just those ones.
Okay.
The Mith Music, my website is coming up soon, but right now I just have a blog, mrsoug.blogspot.com. I'm just running things through there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, boss.
Have a nice day. Hope you enjoy Game of Thrones.
Yes. You know, and it's Ali. I swear to God, I have to watch this. Like, I can't pretend anymore.
All right, thanks a lot.
No, thank you for having me, boss.
Thank you so much for listening to Business Mike today. And if you'd like to listen to more episodes just like this one, simply go to businessmike.com. For all the links and resources mentioned in this particular episode, simply type The Mith, that's M-I-T-H, into the search bar to access his show notes page. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, take care.
How you move, the things you do, you're the truth. Baby, let me show you off. How you move, everything you do, you're the truth. Baby, let me show you off. Baby, let me. Yeah. Baby, let me. My name's The Mith. Baby, let me show you off. My lady is perfect. My queen, yeah, she worth it. And she working, hustle late at night, always get it done. We are so alike, she is so much more. Stay down for the fight, get down for the cause till we get it right. Like my every flaw, got my every cause. She is all I need, plus her body tight, her body frame. Think a lot of names, think Flavia right before all the fame. Think Joe, Kate, maybe Joey my thing. I'm a Superman, she my Lois Lane. Yeah, and she's all to me. She's a quiver night poetry. She belongs to me. She's my drive. My lady will hold the key. We hit the lottery. Yes. The way you move, the things you do, you're the truth. Baby, let me show you all. How you move, everything you do. Yeah, you're the truth. Yes. Baby, let me show you all. My lady is perfect. I am not, but she sees past it. I love her, but she sees passion. Thank the Lord, he did the casting, and he did it well. She is sick as hell, keep her lips sealed, never kiss and tell. Bella Mafia, very discreet, kill the competition, bury them 6 feet. She walks like, she talks like, she owns the world. She boss like, she ghetto too. She bar fight, spit a line or two, so we bar fight. We'll be alright, we go all night. It's a rough ride, baby, hold tight. Yeah, we'll be alright. It's a rough ride, I'm here for life. The way you move, the things you do, you're the truth. Baby, let me show you off. How you move, everything you do, you're the truth. Baby, let me show you off. Let me, baby, let me, baby, let me, baby, let me show you off. Yes, let me show you off, my lady. Yeah. Baby, let me show you off. Yeah, violins. I'm strong on her tools like this violins. She's all in my wounds like it's iodine. I fight for her love, no violence. Yeah, violins. I'm strong on her tools like this violins. She's all in my wounds like it's iodine. I fight for her love, no violence.